Well, hello and welcome again to a reading through of the Apology of Sokrates by Plato, and I got up to what's called chapter 8, and in the numbering system that's section 22c9. So, teleuton un epitus keroteknas ea. This is from teleutao. It's a participle here being used adverbially. So finally then, I went to the chirotechnos. I went to the craftsmen. So he's already talked about the various groups that he's been to, and he goes now to the craftsmen. For sun eide, this is from sun plus oida, so I knew myself, and it takes a dative. So I knew myself knowing nothing. Hos epos apain, common expression here. It's to put it in a word, so to speak briefly. To put it briefly, so I knew that I myself knew nothing, to put it briefly, but I'll hold the two twos for the minute. But indeed, eide again from oida, I knew that hure soimi, from optative from heurisco, that I would find them, and then this goes with the epistamenus, knowing many and good things. So many good things. Greek puts in a chi in the middle. Kai tutu men uk espustein, and I was not deceived, tutu, genitive here, sort of a defining genitive in respect of this thing. But, so I was not deceived in these things, but they knew, from epistemi, things which I did not know. Kai tute, and in this way, you often get these feminine forms here. You've got to supply something like hodos is understood here, but they don't put it in. So, and in this respect, we might say, they were sophoteroi, wiser than me. So in this respect, they were wiser than me. But, very strong Allah here, but, O men of Athens, now this is slightly awkward here. The chi, this chi is redundant here, I think. It's a redundant use of chi. It's apparently common in the prose of Plato. So the subject of this is here. It's the noble craftsman, the good craftsman, a different word to what we had up here. This is the demiurgoi. Interesting word with a long history, and it's got a lot to do with Neoplatonism later. Here it just has the sense of craftsman, I think. For the noble craftsman seemed to me literally to have, and then tauton for auton, and it's going with the hamatema, the same error which also, and that chi is important, which also the poets have. So just to do that again quickly, so but O men of Athens, these noble demiurgoi, these noble craftsmen, seem to me to have the same error, almost to have committed the same error, the very one which also the poets do. And we just suppress that chi. And then we get a dash because he now explains what that is. So we get dia top plus the infinitive. So because, understand they, ex ergadzesthai, because they are able to execute their skill so kalos, so well, so because they're so good at their job, basically, hekastos, each one, this is from axi o, thinks themselves to be most wise also, now tala for ta'ala, in respect of other, we would say, most important matters, or more important matters, i.e. this for Plato and Sokrates means philosophy and politics and so on. So they think that because they're highly skilled in their own trades, they therefore are the most wise in other respects as well, is what he's saying. And harte he plemelia, this is a lovely word. It means a false note or to be out of tune. And the abstract noun comes to mean then, that's as an adjective, and the abstract noun here comes to mean a mistake or error. So, but this error of theirs, understand, seems, again, we've had this day all the way, this axio and edoxan and so on. So this error of theirs seems apokryptein, probably something like to have overshadowed or masked or hidden this wisdom, or perhaps their wisdom. So this error of theirs seems to overshadow their wisdom. Hoste. Now hoste plus infinitive, and the subject goes into the accusative. That's the subject of the infinitive, and that's the object of the infinitive. It's me emauton. So that I ask myself, and the ana probably has the sense of ask myself again, but just translated as I began to ask myself on behalf of the oracle. Now we get potera and a coming up down here. So whether deximane optative from dechmai, and we get this with an, literally I might receive, but perhaps has the sense here of to choose or prefer, I think. So whether I might prefer, now he uses ekain here in the sense of anai, partly because when you've got echo plus an adverb, it's often translated behaves like the verb to be. But he is using this expression here, the ekain, like the verb to be here. So, so with the result that I asked myself anew, if you like, to get the ana, on behalf of the oracle, whether I would prefer to be thus as I am. Again, we're going to translate echo as though with a verb to be. So to remain as I am. Not in any way, therefore, wise, being, I should say, not in any way being wise in respect to their wisdom, that is, I'm not a great craftsman, so not being wise in respect to their wisdom, nor amethes, unlearned, so ignorant, in respect of their ignorance. So not in any way understand being cognizant of their knowledge, not being ignorant in their ignorance, or amphotera ha ekena ekusi ekain, nor or to have, for the ekain, amphotera, both of these aspects which they themselves have. That is, the both aspects are their skill and also their ignorance. In other words, do I want to have their skill and their ignorance, or do I want to remain as I am? Apokrynomane un, therefore I gave answer to myself and to the oracle that, now this I think again is an optative, it's lucitelio, it means to be better for, to be more expedient. So, I gave answer to myself and to the oracle that it was better for me, again ekain in the sense of to be as I am. And that's a short chapter, and that's the end of chapter 8.